Pardon me?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I had just
I'm hearing you.
a short break in transmission. Just hold on 1 second. Let me start the thing back up.
Okay. Did you hear anything or?
All right. You can start. Oh, you can start over. I don't know how much of it was caught on the stream because it stopped,
Okay then.
but you can just go ahead with what you're talking about CEO in terms of what you like about it, what's there, stuff like that. You can
Yeah.
go ahead.
Well, um, I like how it's a really, how do I say, it's just a nice environment for people who are coming from abroad,
Mhm.
as it boasts over 35 people from over 35 countries coming over to the event, and there are always enough setups.
Okay.
And even if there aren't, there are always people. There's space in they have a second room.
Mhm.
There's space for you to bring your own setup if you're not happy with how many they have. They have a bunch of merchants, people who sell little things at at their stores like controllers, art, and other things.
Mhm.
And then
Okay.
they
Oh,
have
man.
a nice
Controllers.
arcade side room
Oh.
called Jabali Land, where they have various Japanese arcade machines and other devices and such, and it's always a blast. And I
Okay.
believe this year it should be 24 hours.
Oh,
Don't quote me on that.
are you
Yeah,
24
serious?
hours?
That would be awesome because
yeah,
basically that would be probably the first tournament that would have done that. I mean, even
yeah,
Evo has a open and close time. There's no
yeah.
24-hour thing. So probably at the end of the day, even if it's late, you'd still have to leave and go to your hotel. But if it's a 24-hour tournament, that'd be awesome. I wouldn't have to leave. Yeah, that's
Do they
awesome.
have
But
like
that's what
food
I
vendors
heard. But
around?
Hold on, go ahead. No, sorry about that.
that's okay. That's what I heard at least. Uh, I'm pretty sure Jabali Land, the arcade section, is open 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not completely sure about the main site.
Oh, okay, okay.
And besides that, Jabali, the man who hosted, is he loves wrestling, so he's always
Yeah,
bringing
yeah,
like
he
a wrestling
does.
event in
Yes, yes.
on
I
the
think
side.
that's on a
Yeah,
Saturday night, I think, from
yeah.
what I heard.
He always
I
sets up.
haven't.
He usually sets up like a stage or something like that, a wrestling ring.
Yeah.
Okay,
hmm
okay. All right, that's
And then
good.
for the final thing is
Mhm.
what really makes them a bit more special is the top eight, sometimes top 16 for some games, is held in an actual wrestling ring,
Yeah.
and you can pay for the seating and such, and it's a great experience.
Yeah, man. I've
Oh,
I've actually
top
I've
16
never
too?
actually seen that in person. I've actually, when you're watching streams of the tournaments and stuff, you see the wrestling ring. You see when the
hmm
gamers come in and they do the intros and stuff. It's really, really kind of hype. I'd love to actually
Yeah.
be there in person, probably next year. All
Oh,
right.
as soon as registration opened, I bought front row seats. So
Oh, geez, how much
I
is
don't
front row
really.
seats though? How much does that
Oh,
cost?
it's a pretty penny. I think it's like, oh man, it was a while ago. 65,
Oh,
65
65. Well,
bucks.
compared to Evo is a lot more
Yeah,
expensive.
Evo
Yeah,
Evo
and
is a lot more expensive, but
yeah,
these run out like fast, extremely fast.
yeah, I'm sure, I'm sure.
I got one of the last couple seats,
And what I
and
like
then
with what I like with CEO is that the seats are usually close to where the ring is. Evo stage is usually huge, so even if you're right up front, you're not that close, or you're not as close to the gamers as
yeah, there's a
CEO
good
is.
distance between you and the players.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
I
so
have a quick question.
oh, hold on, Matt.
What I
Hold
wanted
on,
to
Matt. Hold on, Matt. Matt, I'll ask all the questions because the questions are just
okay,
for you too. So just to keep
Mhm.
within the time, I'll just
my
ask all the
bad,
questions for you.
my bad.
That's cool,
You
man.
can ask me one later after the session.
Yeah, yeah, because we can talk after this. All
Yeah.
right, so Matthew, your time now. So tell me about yourself.
Alright, as you know, I am Matthew Marshall. I am a video game addict. I've been playing fighting games since I was like 4 or 5, and it's like I've enjoyed it. Growing up playing fighting games, one of the earliest one is like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, I even Smash Bros. And Nintendo 64. Anything that name fighting, what I just like is like the competition and thing like that, you know. But besides fighting game, I
hmm
just love gaming all around. I know from the year 2011, since when Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom came out, where
Mm-hmm.
there was tournament scene in Jamaica that I like entered, and it's like I've improved in the fighting games ever since that for that and the Street Fighter. Ever since the Marvel days, I've been entering more tournaments because I wanted to build a name for myself and
So
like understand.
hold on. You said initially that you've been playing from your five, right? Like
Yes,
5 years old. Like
That's
how?
yes,
that's
that's
wild.
what I remember.
Yeah, that's early. I mean, how did you
Like
start
the
that?
first game.
Did your parents buy you a console at 5, or did your brother used to take you out to play games? How did that start at 5?
I just started like my parents buy the first like Nintendo. First we played like the Mario Bros. And the first Nintendo console, and like a year later or 2 years later, I got a Super Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
Like I get a Super Nintendo, and I remember playing Street Fighter 2 World Warrior, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what sort of got me into the fighting game because Street Fighter was like the first ever fighting game that I played, and then there was Mortal Kombat now, which I truly enjoyed, and I even first I played it on the Sega Genesis when I got the Sega Genesis.
So all right, so walk me through something. All right, so I mean, all right, for me at that age, I didn't know what was a hot game or a not game. I didn't know what I was interested in. I mean, if you gave me a game to play, I'd play it at that age, but I wouldn't be able to tell you that, yo, at 5, I wouldn't be saying that Mortal Kombat is out or there's Street Fighter out. At 5, there's a game in front of me, I'd play it, but I wouldn't know about everything that's out. So
Have a good point, man. You have a good
how
point.
did you
Yep.
get into the games? Is it that somebody, your parents maybe, knew that you like games, or they like games and they bought the games and you started to like it, or did they just buy random stuff and you just played it? How did that come about?
I would say the first one is like they bought me the system and they say that I enjoyed playing the game and they continue to buy system after system.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so just
And
bought
that's what I
systems.
remember for real.
Okay, so you have brothers, right?
I go through a lot of.
I know one of your brothers. Well, how many
Yes, I
brothers do
do.
you have?
I have three brothers,
You have three brothers. Oh, okay.
two older one and a younger one.
Okay, okay, cool. So, were any of those brothers like, did they play games with you, or when the systems were being bought, were you the only person that played? Did they play too?
When the season was about my oldest brother, this like they played and really sort of tell me about it. Like he was introducing to me, especially like the Mario game.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I remember. My older brother like telling me about this game, and we used to play games on the PC like Doom and
Yeah, I
other
remember
other
Doom. I remember Doom. Mm-hmm.
Doom was
Tetris. That's what my brother always tell me about how to like start to play this game than to just play it. 'Cause at first, when I was younger, it's like I didn't know exactly what to do. I just play, not knowing exactly what to really do and what's the purpose of it, you
Oh,
know.
okay,
But
okay.
I just enjoy the game in itself.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Noah, how did you get into fighting games? Because I'm sure you probably didn't start with fighting games. What games you started with, and how did you get into the whole fighting game and now Smash scene that you're into now?
well. It's actually pretty funny. When I first got into games, just in primary school, someone had told me about something. I tried to get it. It was a free game on the computer.
Mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm.
built up to console, and my first real console game that I owned myself was actually Smash Brothers Brawl.
Oh,
And
okay.
so, as you can imagine, my two brothers and I, we poured hours and hours into that game,
Yeah, yeah,
never
yeah,
knowing never knowing anything about the competitive scene, that there was even a competitive scene, that you could be competitive with any of these games.
yeah. Okay,
And
okay.
um, I started trying out the other Smash games, and then as I went off to university for a bit, right before that Smash 4 had dropped,
Mm-hmm.
so I started playing it just for fun in my college, and then they said, "Are you going to the tournament?" And I said, "Tournament? You have tournaments for this game?" So no, ever the challenger. I walk in with my Wii remote,
Mm-hmm.
sideways, playing Ganondorf, and I just get destroyed. And since then,
Ooh.
I've just been playing, trying to get better.
So
Here we are now.
how did you? I mean, I know a lot of persons, right? Especially we're all in the gaming community. I'm in Jamaica in the gaming community here, and I'm sure in Bahamas you have a gaming community, a booming gaming community there. And there are a lot of persons who are really afraid of the tournament scene. I mean, you have a lot of persons who play online, they play offline, and they dominate at a game. But once you tell them, okay, there's a tournament, they are very afraid. But on the other
Oh
hand,
yes.
you went to a tournament and you were destroyed, but yet still you used that and you started practicing more. How did that work for you? I mean, what pushed you to want to get better and enter more tournaments?
Well, that's always been something I've noticed about people who play games with their friends. They beat their friends and they think they're all this, and then the moment they see someone better than them, it's one of two things: either they get the drive to push forward and try to overcome this new challenge, or they go back to playing with their same friends,
Hmm.
trying to beat the same people over and over. For me, it was more so the love of community and just the fact that there are really just other people out there who enjoy playing the game. Because for me, it's less about winning and it's
Hmm.
making sure you first of all enjoy yourself, and as long as there is improvement,
Hmm.
that's enough for me. So my philosophy was, if if I ever play this game and for a while I feel like I'm really getting nowhere,
Hmm.
then I have to take a break. But at the time, I just felt like the world was my oyster and there was just so much to learn.
Wow.
And so I just enjoyed the experience of that. I never really feel down when I lose to someone
Hmm.
because I feel it's just a great opportunity to learn something else,
Yeah. I,
something new.
I mean, your story sounds very scripted, though. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it sounds
Yeah.
scripted because if I was going to do an interview, I'd definitely have that
Mhm.
response. But if you asked me like behind the scenes what happened, I'd have to like, yo, there was this guy who always beat my ass, and I hated him. And is there anybody who pushed you like that? Is there any competition or any competitor there that you always want to beat, or there's somebody that you wanted to upend and that drove you to get better?
Well, let's see. Oh, there's the perfect guy. So, in the university I was in when I finally started improving at the game,
Hmm.
there was a lot of the players who had been beating me. I was starting to beat, and I was I was starting to get a bit, lazy
Yeah.
almost
Mm.
because when there's nothing else to do, you get kind of bored.
Hmm.
But then the next year, a new guy came, and I noticed he was beating all the old players, so I started to play him.
Hmm.
And let me tell you, that rivalry has continued to this day, 3 years later. It's it's every time I get better, he just has something new for me. He's always outplaying me. My record versus him is horrible. I think
Really?
I've beaten the man 2 or 3 times ever,
Is that good?
and he's beaten me 20, 30 times.
Oh,
Actually, I'm
jeez.
gonna meet him at CEO to
Oh,
play a couple games.
okay,
So yeah,
okay.
he's always pushed me. Even if I don't get to play him,
Mm-hmm.
it's like when I think of that person I want to beat, that person I want to get better than, he is
Mm-hmm.
usually the one.
So he's still in Bahamas now?
No, he was in Florida, and he's
Okay.
still in Florida, but I'm always in contact with him, and I even have him in my Discord for all the Bahamians,
Okay,
so we can
okay.
all chat
Yeah,
and
I'm
play
I'm
online
also in that
sometimes.
Discord as well. I was invited
Mm,
by Mike. That's cool. That's very cool. I
mm,
mean, you always, regardless of what you're in, whether it's sports, video games, or work,
mhm,
anybody who excels, there's usually somebody there that they use as like a pedestal or a guide or
mhm.
something to push them, and that's always a part of the story. Anybody you ask the greatest athletes, that's like, yeah, man, there's this guy that always beats me. Even Daigo, when Daigo is telling his
Mhm.
story, he tells a story about the arcades and when he went there and this guy who used to use guile and he would beat him so badly all the time, and Daigo would fight and spend his money,
Yeah.
and he would thought it was hopeless, and then years later Daigo is like one of the greatest video gamers ever. He's just a beacon.
Mhm.
And before that, you'd have probably told him that before, and he'd have said, "Nah, this guy's beating me. This guy's probably going to be the one."
Oh,
But you never know. But it's always good to hear that. Matthew, tell me,
yeah.
why is it so important to you to go to CEO, and what are the things you had to do to make the trip? Because I know you haven't been there before, and I know it must have been very difficult for you to get there. So, walk me through
I,
why is it important to go to CEO, and what did you have to do to be
it is
able to make the
important
trip?
because from last year I said to myself I had a dream that I want to be able to go to one of these major tournaments because it's like I said to myself, I'm tired of watching them on the street. It's like, what's it like to really go there and actually participate? And especially, yeah, the gaming is what I love to do. And it's like sometimes with it, it's like when I go to even like tournaments out in Jamaica, you even meet other people, and sometimes when you play good, everybody acknowledge you. So it's like I wanted to see what's it like to go to the actual tournament. I even meet the pro players and it's like get advice from them. And I wanted to be I wanted to be like one of the very few, or even one of the first Jamaicans to enter a major tournament and just participate because I'm building like a game career for myself. Is like I'm building a little name for myself. 'Cause I know I like this so much, so I wanted to be able to take my skills like
Mm-hmm.
from an average to like a pro level.
Okay, okay. And where do you think your skills are right now? Or how would you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10? Let's say Daigo is
Uh,
10. How would you rate yourself?
yeah, I would say probably like 6.5.
6.5. That's pretty high. So we're
Yeah, that's
looking
pretty
for,
high.
yeah, we're looking for like a top 8
The
finish
highest
from
thing I
you.
would say maybe like the lowest I would say like depending on the game I would just say like 5.5.
Oh, 5.5.
Mm.
But because you see at first I was like
Mm-hmm.
maybe like a 3. I was a
Okay.
3, but I got better and better, especially from Street Fighter and so. So right
Mm-hmm.
now at this level I would say like 6 out of 10.
All right. So what games you playing at CEO, Matthew?
We're playing Mortal Kombat 11 and Street Fighter
Oh, you're
5
playing Mortal Kombat
as we
11
do this
and
time.
Street Fighter 5.
Yeah,
I didn't know you
I'm
got
pretty
into
much
Mortal
finishing.
Kombat 11 as well. I mean, how has that been for you?
Yeah, good, good. It's like from when I've started playing the game, it's like it teaches you what you can do if the opponent either outsmart you, like it show you that you can punish this when you do this. It's like it
Mm-hmm.
show you what I understand is like the frame data and how to really like win more. It's like I play a little better
Mm-hmm.
in the MK than I have been for like Street Fighter.
Okay, okay. You play better in MK, so you've been doing better at MK than Street Fighter.
So that's what I believe.
Okay, okay. Tell me something. I remember one major tournament, one mash the button that we had, and you actually had the chance to go to an overseas tournament. It was VXG at that time, but you were
I
prevented.
remember.
Yeah, you weren't able to go. Tell me what exactly happened, and how did you feel about not going to VXG at that time, even though you got a chance to go to
Right.
VXG and you won pretty much a free ticket to go to VXG. Tell me, what happened and how you felt about it.
Right. And many reasons. And honestly, I felt very bad about it. And it's like I've let my teammates down. Also, I've let down the people who thought that I would be able to go, but I didn't go. But what is some one? I didn't have enough funds. I didn't have enough funds to go. And
Mm-hmm.
two, my passport expired during that time, so I didn't get to go. And if I could like rewind and go back and knew what was that about, I would have renewed that passport at that time and get to go because what is something I don't travel a lot. It's like
Okay.
I do not know certain requirements needed when you have to
Mm-hmm.
go. If you get a ticket, one you have to have enough money to like buy yourself like food or go to a hotel and those things. I was really short on funds and my passport was expired that time.
Oh, okay, okay. So pretty
It's
much
very
you're ready for the
disappointing.
trip
I
now
feel
to
like
see Odo.
yes, I said I'm going to really make this happen. Regardless, I'm going to fight to make this happen.
So what
Because
was
if
the
you have a
difference?
dream, stick to that dream.
Okay, so what was the difference with this one? What kind of preparation you had to go through to be ready for this? When did you decide that I'm going to CEO?
I decided from last year July 2018 because somebody who lived in Florida told me about CEO. And it's like I remember I used to watch a lot of Street Fighter tournaments, and I remember he described CEO to me. It was like a wrestling ring,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, oh, I remember that CEO.
Yeah.
That's nice, and he showed me what it's all about and where it is. And Figure said, "True, I know a few people that live in Florida. It's like I Figure said, this is a chance that I can go." So I started saving up because I wanted to make this happen.
Okay, okay. All right,
So
that's
I
good.
wouldn't mind going to Evo, but I feel this Evo would be more expensive. So it's like I have to start from the bottom first. So I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to start. Let me just start from CEO first. Start at that level first, and start a build up, and then one day I can go to Evo. It could be 2020.
Okay, that's good. It's good that you have forward thinking ideas like that, thinking about, what you want
And
to do. But that's a preparation for taking the trip though, so you ensure that your passport is not expired. You probably start
right.
saving for the trip,
And can I
stuff
tell
like
you,
that.
this
But
morning I had to go to an immigration office. I had to go to an immigration office so that get the landing thing stamp on my new passport because it
hmm.
was on my old passport. So I wanted to check it even the night before just to
Oh,
make sure I
okay.
get myself prepared.
Okay. So that's
So
preparing for
yeah,
the trip though. But what preparations have you done
that's
to playing
correct.
the game? Because you're playing Mortal Kombat, you're playing Street Fighter 5. What preparation have you done to get
All
yourself
right.
in shape or ready for the tournament?
What I've been doing, I've been watching like pro players using characters that I use, especially for Mortal Kombat 11 and the Street Fighter. I even had to watch back some of the matches that I've lost to see where I go wrong,
Mm-hmm.
how can I punish this and thing like that. You see, this person zoning you. What you need to do, you need to wait. You see, they
Mm-hmm.
want you to jump. You see, you jump, they hit you. It's like I have to watch back the match and try and analyze.
Mm-hmm.
And if I don't know how to analyze, I have to make somebody watch it with me and see where I go wrong, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
even watching like some pro players stream and do certain things. Now, when I ask them like a question, sometimes they'll answer me. It's like I realize, oh yes, I need to do that. That's true. You understand?
All
It's
right.
like when I watch Bible the match, I realize I used to make the same mistakes over and over. So it's like
Okay.
I have to fix that. I have to learn how to adapt.
Okay, that's good. So you actually have somebody who sits down and analyzes the matches. Like who does that with you? You have somebody who does that with you?
Like, well, not like sit down beside me, but like I have a friend named Zach who will like show me where I would go wrong, especially for Street Fighter or even for Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Zach is one of like the best fighting game players that I know, and he trains me well online.
Oh yeah, man. I know Zach. I've been playing Zach in a few games. Zach likes anime fighters a lot. All right. Yeah, thanks for
Yeah,
that.
but
Okay,
yeah,
no. Let me ask you, no.
no,
I know the Smash scene is usually pretty big anywhere. I mean, in the US, the Smash scene is huge. In Jamaica, the Smash scene is huge. What's the Smash scene in Bahamas like? I mean, is it like very territorial like in the US and in Jamaica? Are there a lot of nice guys there? Is it rough? What's the community like over there?
Well, the community is pretty much just one big community.
Mm-hmm.
There are smaller groups of like say 20 or 30 friends who play together, and we try to incorporate them into our one group. Um, where it was mostly based in WhatsApp, but we're currently moving to Discord.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Um, but in the group itself, there are about 70 something, 80 members.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Now, obviously, all of them don't come out, but this is because I attend a university here.
All right.
I see a ton of players who don't even know about this group, don't even know about this scene, who play the game in a competitive way.
Oh.
So it's really just trying to get the people who play it competitively
Mm-hmm.
to realize that there's a scene here because they're always talking about how they're watching tournaments in the states and internationally and how they never see anything like that here. So
Mm-hmm.
really just working on that has been the main thing. But the scene's nice, it's strong. In fact, because I'm going to CEO and another player is going to CEO, the people in the chat said, you know what, let's throw together a quick last minute mini tournament just
Mm-hmm.
to have something for the guys going off. So I just came from there.
Okay, okay,
Um,
okay.
yeah,
And
but it's nice and strong.
and how happy are they? I mean, for us here, what I've noticed is that the community is a lot smaller than what the US would be like. So even though we have a Smash community and have a lot of gamers, not a lot of gamers take part in regular tournaments like overseas, and not a lot of gamers are on tournament level. That type of pro player level, like what we see when we watch streams and stuff. So considering that you're going to CEO, how does a community in Bahamas react when something like that's happening? So you're going overseas, you're going to be representing the Bahamas, basically. How are they? How do they react? What do they say to you? Do they give you advice? Do they hate you for it? Because that can happen. What's the feedback like?
Well, at first they were just excited because some of them, well, a lot of them in the beginning, they didn't know they were international tournaments. They just played, kind of serious with each other, no
Hmm.
items, kind of stuff.
Right,
So when
right.
I mention I'm going abroad for this, they say, "What? There's a giant international there's tournaments for these."
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
it's on one hand it's a big surprise. On the other, usually I'm told by other smashers, friends, families to go and represent the Bahamas, that country pride.
Hmm.
But when I go there, I always notice really how far behind we are.
Yep.
Um, where while we are getting used to like the rules and learning what to do with our characters more properly, um, you can tell this just a little something that places like the States, Mexico, and Japan have over us,
Hmm.
and um, it's been it's been mostly me pushing the other players because no one wants to have a scene where they can't use the knowledge and the practice they gain to compete at a higher level.
Right.
So I've been trying to push our players to incorporate more of the high level tactics,
Hmm.
combos, and to just think more about the game in general. And it's been going pretty good.
Okay.
A couple of our players, I would say about it used to be about one or two players who could do decently at a tournament in the States. And now that number has expanded over the years to about a solid eight eight or nine people
Oh,
who
okay.
I believe could do some damage if they went abroad. But
Okay.
I'm still working on trying to get us over that onto that next level where we can be those people you see on the streams
Hmm.
upsetting those top players.
Hmm.
So I'm still working on that. But
Okay.
the scene they've been pretty happy to learn how to get better at the game, and it's really been fun to try and teach them if I can.
Okay.
So
All right,
for me,
that's
I'd
good.
say it's just we're on our way.
All right, that's
Yeah.
good. You kind of sound like the person who is pushing everybody to do better. Like, yo, guys, we need to learn this. Here's some new tech. You're that type of guy. Get some new tech from YouTube. Share it in the group. You try it out. Are you that type of guy, or are you just the type of guy that?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah, and especially in the first few years
Mm-hmm.
when I came back to the Bahamas because I was studying abroad for a while, playing in some Smash tournaments in Florida. I came back to the Bahamas, and the
Mm-hmm.
first thing I said was, "Okay, okay, there's so much tech you guys could be using.
Yeah.
This is unacceptable. So we need to rework a lot of this."
Mm-hmm.
And for the next year and a half,
Mm-hmm.
I pushed as much as I could find. I tried to push to other players. Now it seems they're at the point where if something is new and out for their character or a top player is playing their character, they're up to date, so I don't have to push as much.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely if I
Definitely push
see
that.
anyone
Mm-hmm.
yeah, if I see anyone not doing something I think is better or more optimal, I definitely try to get on them for that.
Okay, all right, that's very good. I mean, you definitely need somebody like that because in any community, if you don't have that guy, nobody is going to improve. I mean, everybody's going to feel like, why do I need to improve? I mean, I'm not going to any tournaments. Why do I need to get better? Why do I need to get on their level if I'm just staying here in the Bahamas? Just a reminder for anybody who's in the chat, if you have any questions, you can ask in the chat. And if I see the question, I can ask as well. Shotashi, he made a comment that it's the thing about pros. Pros don't have jobs; it's their livelihood, and it's kind of true because a lot of the pro players who are playing video games now are really good. They don't work. They don't have to go to work. They just stay home and they grind and they grind. And it's easier for you to spend hours and hours grinding when you don't have to work. You probably don't have
Hmm.
kids or stuff like that. How is it on you now? I mean, do you work? I'm assuming that you work, or is
Um,
it just school?
Good question.
it's when I'm not doing school.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, I have a small part-time job,
Okay.
making some money on the side that I usually use to go away. But
Mm-hmm.
I regret to say that I haven't been as efficient
Mm-hmm.
in my practice. I used to play essentially every day, watch VODs of myself and other players
Mm-hmm.
who played my character, and then also used to watch VODs of as many characters as I could,
Oh, you used
and then
to. What do you do now, though?
and now I still do it, but it's less often.
Mm-hmm.
I'm usually dealing with some other things in life, which you know I obviously put all those other things on hold so I can get ready for CEO.
Right.
But outside of preparing for CEO, I noticed that I stopped really watching as many VODs as I could,
Right.
keeping up with as many tournaments as I could. I still do,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, but
Mm-hmm.
it has gotten
You kind of slowed
worse over
down.
time.
You say you
But I'm
kind of
pick
slowed
yeah, but
down, and
I'm picking back up. I'm picking back up. I got my notebook, and in Super Smash, yeah, keeping a notebook is just you have no idea, especially in a game like Smash where 70 plus characters that you have
yeah,
to really understand what you're doing
yeah.
to fight
It's
them.
true.
It's crazy.
I've
So
seen a lot of top players like have a notebook, even during matches.
mm,
When something happens, I've seen them take notes down. I've seen top players actually go on their phones. I don't know if they search for tech in the middle of the tournament, but I see a lot of players with books writing stuff down with phones. I don't know. Maybe, I mean, you've been to several CEOs. What do they do on their phones, or what do they write down? Is it that they're looking for tech? What do they do?
oh well, I know players like DeBuzz.
Mm-hmm.
He's a famous one for this. He has a whole notepad for every player, for every
Wow.
top player. He has a whole notepad that he constantly updates.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a famous meme where he's fighting Anti,
Mm-hmm.
and Anti beats him, and he takes out his all his notes on Anti, and he starts reading them, and the TO comes over to make sure he's not going above the time limit, and an Anti even takes a peek at his notes, and his eyes go wide with just how much the buzz has on him. So
So he's
so
like,
yeah,
what? He knows that?
yep.
Yo, that's funny.
About appropriate or
I
what
can just,
I
I can just imagine me playing a tournament and somebody's there with a whole notebook or pages full of anti-agritech. That probably
Mm.
must have been amazing for him.
remember a pro player used one of Daigo's book, a book that Daigo wrote, and he was reading it while he was playing the Street Fighter. His
Oh,
name is
really?
Kaba.
It's
And
Mm.
probably was
yes,
trolling.
I started like Daigo. He used book right in front of the camera. Look,
Hmm.
go after him, lose around, and then put on book and then start play the next one. That's what I found that kind of funny still.
Yeah, that's funny. That sound
Yeah.
like a troll move, though. No, have you played any one of our Smash players in Jamaica?
Not yet, but I did know about one of them, and I'd seen their clips and such
Who is that?
before I knew there was a Jamaican Smash team. It was Okair,
Oh, okay,
uh,
Smash Face. Yeah.
the yeah,
Mm.
the Bayonetta player.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I didn't make the connection
Go up
when
to
I first
Smash
heard of
Face,
them.
okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, you didn't make the
yeah,
connection.
Okair. Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't make the
okay.
connection to the Jamaican scene. It was actually Michael,
Mm-hmm.
the same Michael
Yeah,
you mentioned earlier,
yeah.
who told
Mm-hmm.
me there was the Jamaican Esports Initiative, and then I
Mm-hmm.
joined the Discord, the WhatsApp group, and it's just been a joy seeing all the clips, all
Right.
the players. And, some other Bahamians have though,
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay.
and they said they're pretty good.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good.
So
Akir,
that's
Akir was actually selected as the person who was supposed to be going to Evo, but
mm,
unfortunately, certain circumstances beyond his control caused him not to be able to make that trip. But he was
no.
actually slated to be going to Evo with the Dr. Bird's team. He's also in the chat. But yeah, it's sad to see that he's not going to be able to make it, especially after, because I knew he really wanted to go. But it was sad. But hopefully, eventually, probably next year or another event, he'd be able to take part in.
Mm.
But yeah,
If
okay,
if
is
I meet
actually the
him,
chat.
yeah, if I meet him at CEO, that'll be hype.
Yeah, that would definitely be hype.
Yeah.
Matthew, tell me something. In terms of your preparation, I know you work definitely, and you live with family. So, how has working, living with family, and other real world, real life situations affected your training and how you prepare for CEO?
Way. I just have to like balance the time and things. You know, I have to work, and after work when I come home to my gaming. I just prepare, and sometimes there are times that I have to like take a look break because sometimes when when you're gaming, like somebody call you for do something important. You understand? While you're
Mm-hmm.
training online with other online players and things. But I mean, the best thing that I would do is like there's a rare time that I would even have to take like a day off from work. Like
Mm-hmm.
when like for example when MK11 was released, which was the 23rd of April, I took the day off just just to play that game and just get the feel of it so I can like start as early as possible.
Was it an official day
Because
off or was it a I'm sick day off?
official day off.
Okay, because I did a I'm
Official
sick
day
day off. I hope nobody from my workplace is listening to this, but yeah, I did a I did a sick day. So you had to take a day to actually what
I
you.
have to take an official day off, yes.
So what did you do? You stayed till 12 or you just waited until the morning you got up and play? How you did
Well,
that day?
I stayed up until 11 o'clock our time. I just stayed up until it released, and I went to bed like maybe 1 o'clock or so, and then got up early. As I got up early and then started playing. I
Mm-hmm.
started on the story mode, and then stopped the story mode and start finding my main character and start learning that character. And
Mm-hmm.
this time I have to try and stick to a character, master that character before I move on to something else. Like find a character that will suit your playstyle. That's what I had to try and do.
Okay, all right. So which character is that character though? Who fits your playstyle? Who do you use, and do you think they fit your playstyle?
Right. Put it this way. I like more like the zoning characters, more like Scarlet. Because
Mm-hmm.
she see what I learned about Scarlet when I use her is like I control the spaces. Do not make the opponent come near you because she's more like a zoner and she's
Mm-hmm.
like she controls the space and she has a lot of range moves.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay.
we also have to look at the matchups too, because there are a few times like when I lose to Sky, I go for like Sonia. Sonia is a good rush down character and she's top tier, and
Yes,
she
Sonia is
has some good
OP.
zoning too.
She's OP. Does she have any?
Yeah,
Does she
she
have
has
any
some.
bad matchups though? Does she have a bad matchup?
I don't think so. To be honest, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I don't think so
No.
because I mean, put it this way, if you put it like Sonia versus like Liu Kang.
Uh-huh.
And Liu Kang is a like good character or Sona versus Kitana. I see most of the time when I fight against like a Kitana, all the Kitana do is just zone the shit out of you. Oh, I'm sorry, just zone you out until you like they want to frustrate you. But I figure say if you're a patient player,
Mm-hmm.
you can just go near Kitana or even Liu Kang and just punish them. She has so much. She has a lot of option tools to like punish your opponent.
Yeah, she's
I think
pretty
that's what made her
much.
a top player.
Yeah, she's pretty much an all-round character. That's why she's up there. I mean, she can pretty much fight anybody and even kill, regardless of who the person is. Noah, I noticed that you're playing Smash Ultimate and Melee. Tell me about
Hmm.
Ultimate and Melee. For me, playing the same game with similarities, or should I say differences in the mechanics, kind of sometimes affects my gameplay. So if I'm playing a tournament in, for instance, Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5, sometimes I kind of forget which game I'm playing depending on how much I've been playing. Does that affect you? I mean, are you okay playing Ultimate and Melee?
Well, I did try to enter at one point enter melee and at the time Smash 4 with
Mm-hmm.
the same level of intensity, but the difference is without warm up, it's almost too much.
Mm-hmm.
But when I go to CEO, I just enter melee, even if I'm not going to really focus on it,
Right.
to support the scene in general. And the game is extremely fun. I like to see how far I can get off of the my fundamentals and such.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, switching between the games,
Mm-hmm.
especially melee and ultimate, it's um it's extremely difficult. There are some pro players who do it,
Mm-hmm.
and honestly, I don't know how. I don't know
Yeah.
how. It's crazy.
I mean, I've been
So
playing.
this CEO,
Yeah. I mean, I've
go
been
on.
playing tournaments for a while, and I know that's difficult. I was just wondering, how do you do it? So pretty much, you're
Oh,
saying that you are focusing on ultimate, but you're not
mhm.
focusing on melee. But you're going to play
Yeah.
melee, but it's just that you're not focusing, you're not practicing on melee.
Exactly.
Okay, okay. In terms of the characters, though, what characters are you using in Ultimate? Are there different characters, and how do you pick your characters? Or maybe if you tell me who your characters are, I can tell you how you pick them. Who are your characters?
Okay. I play Bayonetta.
They play Bayonetta.
Yeah, Bayonetta and Meta Knight.
Okay, so let me tell you who you are. You love top tier characters, and you used to use Bayonetta in the last Smash, but Bayonetta is not that great in this Smash. But hey, you know her moves, so you use her anyway. Correct?
It's close. Actually, this is actually really funny for me because when I came back to the Bahamas as a Bayonetta main,
Mm,
um, people didn't give me credit. They said, you're just you. This is your first time. You're not going to beat anyone. And so when I won it was Bayonetta, they
mm,
started saying, "Oh wow, you're carried by your character." And
yeah.
I said, okay. While that is true, you're still not at the level where I can't just use another character. So
Right.
for the next year, I started playing random in tournament
Oh, really?
and winning.
Are you
Yeah,
serious?
yeah. Just to prove them wrong.
Okay. Okay,
But
will have a lot to say because Oker
yeah,
is coming from the exact same camp. I don't know if you talked to Oker
mm,
about it, but Oker
yeah, I
is
have.
right now facing the same. Everybody's saying, yeah, yeah, you used to use Bayonetta because Bayonetta was broken. Bayonetta been carrying you. Now Bayonetta
Mm,
is not so good anymore, so that's why you're not great. So he's going through the
And
same
it's
thing.
yeah.
So you're pretty
So
much going through the same thing as he is.
it's funny because when I searched for a character in
Mm,
Smash 4, because I was going through everyone goes through a character crisis when they don't know who to play.
mm,
And at the time, Bayonetta had dropped. So you're probably expecting, oh, I just clicked with the character and I
yeah.
just started using her in tournament. No, I actually did not like the character at all. Not because of how good she was. She just felt foreign to me.
Mm-hmm.
My first tournament where she was legal, everyone just spammed, her counter move and just did her easy combos.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't really paying attention.
Right.
Then I saw she got nerfed. She got nerfed pretty hard once, and I think it was Captain Zach
Mm-hmm.
playing her at an event, and she just looked so freeform,
Right.
and she just looked like she could just move everywhere, be everywhere, and just really oppress people. I love oppressing people with
You
fast
can
moves.
you can say cheap. It works too.
Okay,
Oppress.
we'll take cheap. We'll take cheap. So
Okay.
I picked her up, and I told everyone in my scene. I said I refuse to use the extremely cheap things with this character because
Right.
one, I don't. While I do like being cheap, I
Mm.
don't like to be this cheap. Like I'll stage spike someone.
Yeah.
I don't want to be this cheap, but
Yeah.
I don't want to use her counter move that often. So I tried to play her that kind of way,
Okay.
and lo and behold, in Smash Ultimate, it actually helped out because unlike a lot of other Bayonettas, I was used to using and not just cheesing people off the sides or in the tops with her special
Mm.
moves.
Okay. So
And
that
then
pretty much helped you.
yeah,
Yeah.
I started playing her like she was Ultimate Bayonetta back in Smash 4.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
Um, yeah, so I'd land a Witch Time. Her infamous move, you can combo someone to death at zero. And I'd land it. I'd tap them and I'd move away
OOP.
to reset.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was OP.
Those are
You
the
did that. You did
moves.
that in a. You did
Yeah,
that in a tournament, or that was just like casual
yeah,
play.
I did that in a tournament too.
Yeah, for real.
No, no, against a much better player.
Okay.
I'm trying to convert as much as I can, but
Mm-hmm.
um, usually against players that were slightly better than me, I would
Mm-hmm.
try not to use it. And
Uh,
then
yeah. Go on. Go on.
not to go on too long, but for Meta
Mm-hmm.
Knight, I saw his ladder combo
Okay.
that he had where he could hit someone and carry them off the top,
Yeah, I remember
and it
that.
was yeah, and it was fairly difficult when I picked him up, but
Mm.
I really liked how he moved, and he had one burst option, so you really just had to outplay your opponent with one option. And
Okay.
then in this game, he actually became a character with all his moves really working better. So I
Oh.
really just enjoy the characters that can stay just move around a lot. I love
Mm.
Sheik and all them.
Yeah, Sheik
Uh,
is nice. I like Sheik too.
yeah,
You like
yeah.
Greninja? Because Greninja
I
is
like
probably,
Greninja. Yes.
yeah, Greninja is one of those too.
Mm.
Yeah, Okir was saying that you can still zero death with thing there in this. It's just that you have to know exactly what connects. So
Oh
maybe
yeah.
there's still
Oh yeah.
zero death there.
Definitely.
It's probably not
Definitely.
as easy to
Now,
do.
now in this game, I'm never sad for them. In fact, I blame them. I, I tell them, I tell them, that I taught you how to beat this character back in Smash 4 when she was broken, and
Mm,
you can't be losing to her now when she's this bad. In
mm,
fact, we have a player. Um, I, a quick side thing. I was ranked number one. Uh, here in the Bahamas for
mm.
about a year and a half for Smash 4 for the entirety of Smash 4's life when I came back.
Right.
And then for Smash Ultimate, our PR actually just came out, and I am ranked number third,
Oh.
being the same characters. And the two people who I trained with the most excessively, who fought my Bayo the most, who learned all her counters back in Smash 4, they're actually the two above me.
Oh.
And let me tell you, that was a mistake. It was a mistake to teach them how to beat my character. Like, it's like I'll probably complain to Oker later,
Mm-hmm,
but
mm-hmm,
if someone plays against you now
mm-hmm.
how they did in Smash 4, it feels unwinnable.
Yeah.
So I'm really just waiting for the moment when a lot of the Smash Ultimate players forget how to fight Bayonetta. That'll be my time.
I'm sure that will never happen. Everybody's going to remember how to fire. All right.
I can hope. I can hope.
All right, thanks for that. Okir, you can complain to Okir because Okir is always hoping for somebody to complain that Bayonetta is no longer good. Okir loves
Uh,
those conversations.
I might complain a bit more.
So Matthew, tell me, in Street Fighter 5, which character is it that you have the
Mm-hmm.
biggest problem fighting? And are you ready for that character come tournament time?
Put it this way, Bison. Like Bison
Bison.
gives me a headache, and also sometimes Nash and Guile. Those three give me
Mm,
a headache because you see Bison
mm,
have so many I don't even want to say so many, but him have some like him have good meaty and him
mm,
plus it's just like sometimes when I try to punish it, it's like I can't seem to punish it. And his grabs is so far, the power grab is so far. And he
mm.
does a lot of damage. And I guess that's why he won Evo last year.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, he won.
But Bison won Evo last year.
Yeah, man, I
So
remember. That's problem
compliment.
X. Yeah, that was problem X. But
I
tell me
give him
something.
props, man. But
How
yo,
are you
Bison
prepared? Are you prepared though for meeting a bison in tournament? Because trust me, I've been in a lot of tournaments, and every single time I have a bad matchup, that's the person I play first. Every time I go to a big tournament, if I have a bad matchup, that's the person I play first. So I always
Oh
ensure that
yeah.
I get ready for my bad matchups because my bad matchups, you never get your good matchups, your best matchups. So like those two guys who play Noah, who play against Noah's Bayonetta and no Bayonetta inside out. As soon as they go to a tournament, no Bayonettas. They get all of the bad matchups. So I
I
always try to be
know.
a period.
It's
matchup.
crazy.
That
Yeah,
matchup is like you can be your opponent's character can like outplay your character. Don't that's what you mean, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
like, for,
The
yeah,
the, the
that and you
yeah.
too, because even though you have a character that you probably can beat the character with, it's all up to the person themselves using the character. So you can have a
Yeah,
bad
that's
matchup with another character who, if I use him, I would probably win. So it's both ways. But if you have a character that you know that you definitely always have trouble fighting, whether it's a bad matchup for your character or it's just you or your gameplay style, you should be prepared for that. Nor you were saying it's crazy because you
It
get those types of
it's
experiences.
oh my good.
put it this way.
The
I
oh
get some
uh,
experiences with some especially like a super platinum or ultra platinum bison players. And
Mm,
the end time is like when I win, which is like sort of rarely, sometimes I get lucky because there's certain move that Bison can do that either him outsmart me or I just not sure how to punish it. And I've been figuring out for a while how to punish this specific move and how
mm,
to like outweigh your opponent because I kept saying to myself, you see, him wait now, him want you to do this.
mm,
It's like I want to try and outsmart my opponent. You get me?
Yeah, 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 yeah. But so, no, what's your experience with like bad matchups and stuff in tournaments?
Okay, so I won't go into mine first, but the
Mm-hmm.
the two I mentioned who trained against my bayonet all the
Mm-hmm.
time, who I taught them all the secrets to beating her. One of them goes to a CEO last year,
Mm-hmm.
and I call over uh the top the top two bayonettas at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I call them over. Well, two of the top four bayonettas at the time, and I call them, and I just I say why don't you play my friend? And they say okay, sure. And he takes both of them. Well, he takes one of them to the last hit, and this is like a top player, so their
Mm-hmm.
fundamentals are. He takes them to last hit, and they get up saying, "Wow, this guy is crazy good at fighting Bayonetta, like crazy good." And so he looks at me. He hates this character still, but he
Mm-hmm.
looks at me and he says, "Noah, you trained me well." And then he gets into bracket, and there's no Bayonettas in sight, even though it's Smash Four. You know what he gets?
Wait,
He
hold on.
gets
This is a Smash 4 tournament and there's
yeah,
no
Smash Four.
Bayonetta?
No Bayonettas.
Oh,
None.
jeez.
None whatsoever.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
really?
Yes.
So
No, there's none.
what?
There was one Bayonetta in his pool, and
Mm-hmm.
they were at the opposite side.
So how did he
He
do?
gets the ditto.
How did
He
he
gets
do?
the ditto. He has to fight his own character
Oh,
twice.
jeez. I
So
hate that.
he beats one, and then he fights
Honestly, I hate mirror matches. I
yeah.
really hate mirror match.
It's a good thing I did the mirror match with him one a
Mm-hmm.
couple times before, but he beat the first one, and then he lost to a top player. I forget who,
Mm-hmm.
and then he lost to another Ditto in losers bracket, and he was mad. Not to say the least, he was mad. He said, "Noah,
Yeah.
I've seen Bayonetta everywhere. I was so ready for this character, and I get the Ditto, and me, of course, in bracket. You know who I get at two tournaments back to back? I get a high level Little Mac player.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Little Mac is a horrible character, right? But
Mm-hmm.
he's extremely volatile.
Really?
Yeah, he
He's
is.
extremely volatile.
I have
Yeah, he
two
is.
accounts.
On
I don't
on
think
the
so. Yeah.
ground,
Mm-hmm.
his armored moves and his kill potential and his comeback factor is incredible.
Right, right.
And and these guys, I'll tell you this now.
Mm-hmm.
In Smash 4, they were the most patient players. They would stand still for a
Mm-hmm.
minute so that they could react to whatever move I tried to throw out and
Mm-hmm.
punish me and kill me at 80%. It was
Oh.
it was it was living hell. It was living
Oh.
hell. I never thought I would complain about such a good matchup for me, but
Yeah.
to this day I hate that character.
Okay, okay, you're saying Little Mac is so easy. You need to stop
Oh
that.
my god, I know. He is
Little
so
match is a
easy,
good
but
character.
okay,
Right.
okay. This is the point in my life when I refuse camp. Okay, so imagine an approaching Bayonetta to a
Mhm.
camping Little Mac with KO punch. So I'm just getting perfect shield down till KO punch at 0.
Zero.
It's
Yeah.
it's okay. I have to explain myself. Now I don't lose to Little. I learned the matchup, but
Oh, but back then, oh, so now
back
you've
then,
learned now, so it's okay
yeah,
now. You know, you don't have
I
to.
devoted myself. I devoted
Okay.
myself. I refuse to lose to that character again. It's
Okay.
yeah, okay.
Are you guys? All right.
Yeah.
You first, Noah. Are you looking forward to meeting anybody specific at CEO? I know you've been there before. So, what is it like in terms of meeting other players, especially top players? Because, I mean, let's face it, we're going to CEO or we're going to these big tournaments. We meet a lot of people, but we definitely probably look out more for the persons we know, like top players we know or streamers or anything. Who are
Mm.
you, or is there anybody you're looking forward to meeting, or anybody that you think you want to meet when going there?
Okay. Well, there are some streamers I was looking forward to meeting. I know two pretty well.
Hmm.
Void and Charlie the King.
Oh, nice.
Void, yeah,
Mm.
Void is not going, which saddens me very much.
Why is
I've
he?
been
Why is he
tell
not going?
I don't know. I just heard he wasn't going.
Okay.
It was mentioned by some of his followers.
Hmm.
Um, so I mean, if he does end up coming, I'll be happy. But I'm not really expecting it. And then Charlie the King, I've already talked to him about how we can meet as CEO.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a bunch of Florida players who know me from one time on
Okay.
a tournament I attended or
Mm-hmm.
something I said online.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just a bunch of old friends, Black Yoshi, people from the Tampa and CFL scenes. And then I really just anyone who recognizes me,
Mm-hmm.
for some reason they recognize me a lot. Anyone who recognizes me, I'm down to hang out. It's a great experience regardless of who I meet.
Okay.
And I'm always trying to talk to more top players
Mm-hmm.
or higher level players,
All right.
see what I can learn from them, and also just there to make some good friends because that's also a good part. A lot of them are really good people.
Okay. Okay. That's
Yeah,
good to hear. That's good to hear. Matthew, who are you looking forward to seeing at CEO, if any?
I'm also looking forward to seeing Matthew.
Where's Matthew? Did Matthew disappear? Matthew, are you there? Not hearing Matthew.
I think he might have disappeared.
He's still in the chat, but I'm not hearing him. Okay,
Can
so
you hear me? Hello?
yeah, I'm hearing you
Hello?
now. Yeah, I'm hearing you now, Matthew. I was asking, are there any players that
I'm
you'd
looking
be looking
forward.
forward to seeing?
Yes, I'm looking forward to seeing like the NRS players like Sonic Fox, Honeybee, Gur,
Mm,
Dragon,
mm.
those pro players from the NRS community, and also for like Street Fighter.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see like Tokido,
Mm-hmm.
Knuckle Doo, Mena RD, because those two are
Oh
the
yes,
Cup champions.
Okay, okay.
And not to mention Justin Wong,
it's
because he's like the top player, like the king of Marvel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, a
mm,
lot of names there. It's a 2 day event, right? It's 2 days. It's Saturday and Sunday.
it's 3 days, 3 days,
Three.
Friday,
So it's
Yes,
Saturday, and
Friday,
Sunday.
Saturday, and Sunday. Okay, so
Yeah.
you guys are actually staying for the 3 days. You're staying for 4 days, 1 day extra. You're staying a week. How long you guys are staying there?
Well, I leave tomorrow morning,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a pre-CEO weekly for all the players who are in the area in their
Mm-hmm.
hotels already,
Mm-hmm.
looking to get some warm up before the main event the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm planning on staying till Sunday night
Okay.
after all the finals finish,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm gonna catch my early morning flight to Barbados.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Oh, you going to Barbados? Is it a connecting flight that goes to the Bahamas, or are you staying in Barbados for a bit?
Um, I'm I'm passing through Barbados to get to Dominica, where
Mm-hmm.
I'll be staying for a while.
Okay.
Not the DR, Dominica,
Okay.
and then on my way back to the Bahamas in probably late July, early August. I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to visit a lot of the Caribbean islands. I'm trying to come to Jamaica for a bit too.
That's good. That's good. When you come here, you should
Trinidad
let
and
us
all that.
know.
Will do.
Yeah. Okay. Can definitely school you on using Bayonetta.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I just hope he
Matthew.
doesn't mind
Yeah.
losing a couple games.
I hope so too. Because he can get real salty real fast, bro. Matthew, how long are you staying, Matthew? I know you're leaving tomorrow as well, right?
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow
I'm
morning.
going to be staying over there for like a week because after I leave,
Mm.
the CEO I'm gonna probably go stay with my family.
Oh, okay. So you're staying with your family. All right, that's good. I mean, I
Yeah, for
always,
2 weeks.
especially like when you're going to certain areas for the first time, it's always good to probably, even after the event, be in the area a little bit so you can at least kind of have like a semi vacation because when you're at a tournament, it's always kind of
Right.
stressful being there and you don't get to enjoy it as much. But so it's always good to have a little bit of time after the tournament to probably, hang around a little
Yeah,
bit,
because I was
PPA meet.
advised like just only go for the 3 day, just go for more days and thing and try and
Right.
enjoy yourself and thing.
Yeah, but I guess Noah actually he's been there several times, so Noah you're probably already used to the whole CEO vibe and everything. Has it always been in Daytona Beach? When was the last CEO?
Actually, no, it's
Mm.
been in Orlando for 7 years,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
then last year he actually moved it to Daytona Beach,
yeah. I know a lot of
which
persons
was
were complaining about it initially.
yeah.
Did you have any problems? Because I know a lot of people were
Um,
complaining about Daytona Beach itself and some of the stuff they went through. Tell me a little bit about your experience there.
well, the first time I went, it was it wasn't really personally, it wasn't really easy to walk between the venue and like hotels where people were staying,
Mm-hmm.
and so I had to get a hotel that was quite far away, and because I missed my ride back, and I didn't have Uber at the time, I really just had to push through and spend the night at the 24-hour venue.
Oh,
But but in Daytona, it's easy walking distance, a ton of hotels.
okay.
Um, Other than that, the venue change is a bit nice. It feels at least a bit more open.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that a lot of people were complaining about the racism.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah.
Was it that evident to you as well? I mean, what was your experience with that?
Well, I heard from a bunch of people that there was racism. I didn't really myself.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I saw was a homeless guy refusing to take money from a black person because they were
Wow.
black.
Disconnected.
Really?
So yeah, so
Are you still
that
disconnected?
Mm.
can you hear me?
Yeah, man, I'm hearing you. Go ahead.
Yeah. So that was pretty funny to me.
Mm.
Because I feel like you should take in the money regardless. But yeah, a lot of people like Sonic Fox and such complained about the racism, and I've
Yeah.
heard some people got kicked out of restaurants and such for
I hear they
Wow.
said something about racism. I hear about something at a year about racism or something like that.
Yeah, man, there's a lot of complaints about it last year, but you're saying people got kicked out of restaurants? You heard about that?
yeah. Some a couple friends told me
Oh,
they were kicked out
Mm-hmm.
of some places they tried to get food in.
That's
So
awful.
I hope that's not a reoccurring thing. And Jabali himself said that he had spoken to the governor
Mm-hmm.
about trying to put some things in place so that there's not such
Mm-hmm.
racism,
that will
especially
happen
during that
again.
time.
Yeah.
This is my
I
first
mean,
time. I don't have a good
if you are
experience.
in an area that is overtly racist, there's not much that the governor can do. But
Yeah,
one thing I do like about CEO is that Alex Jabali is somebody who he openly talks about some of the issues on social
hmm
media. So persons who have been complaining about the event, he openly came out and said that yeah, he really doesn't like the venue. It didn't work out this time, and he
yeah,
actively engaged everybody and told everybody, okay, we're changing to a new venue and we're changing to where there are better hotels. The food was also an issue because persons weren't able to get weren't a lot of options for food, stuff like that. But he actively came into social media and discussed a lot of the problems and actively assured everybody that he'd fix it. And I really like that because if you hosting a tournament as a tournament organizer, not everything will be 100% perfect. And what's always good
hmm
is that when you have issues, you can actually fix them. That's the most important thing. But I think we've pretty much come to the end of our podcast. Thanks very much to Noah and Matthew for sharing a little bit about themselves, a little bit about their journey so far up to this
Thanks for
point,
having me.
and going to CEO. I mean, for anybody, I know if it was me, I'd be super happy, elated about this. I mean, even if I go there and I lose 2-0 and drop out of the tournament, I'd still be happy to just have the experience itself. So I know the
yep,
experience just by itself is really one of the greatest things ever, even if you don't actually make
Still,
it
even
in top
though
eight or anything like that. The
it's
experience is always
priceless.
something good. It's
Just
priceless. Yeah,
even
and
that, what I want to know is
mhm.
it still okay that supposedly like you start the tournament and you just drop out like you don't win a match. You still that's still a good thing that you just even made it to the venue. You just made it, correct?
Yeah, man, because the
Yes.
experience itself is priceless. Because when you get there, Matthew, there are going to be, even if you don't meet one single top player, there are always players who are there who are willing to give you advice on matchups, give you advice on every single thing that you would need advice on. And that's what I like about the gaming community overall. Even though you might have a few bad eggs, but generally, when you go to events like those, persons are always willing to give you advice and help you in whatever you need. So even if you don't meet any top players, even if you
Even though
don't
if you
win any
don't know the player,
matches,
just
you will
listen to them and
still be
think, okay,
able to enjoy yourself and
well
have a
said.
great day at CEO. I'm sure of it. So
Hello?
thanks again, you guys. Thanks, Noah. Thanks, Matthew, for
I
joining
wasn't hearing
us.
you well. Can you
Thanks.
repeat it, please?
Thanks for having us. It
Yeah,
was amazing. I'd
no,
love
no
to do it
problem.
again.
Yeah, man. And whenever you guys get back, we should have another podcast where you guys tell us all your experiences and the outcome of your trip. All right,
Hmm.
so for those who
Definitely.
were on the stream on Twitch, I really didn't see many questions. I kind of relayed some of the questions that were already there. So we pretty much got through all of the so called questions that could have been asked. I noticed that Gregory had jumped in a little late. He jumped in a lot after you guys came in. So I'm going to probably ask Gregory to say a few things. Let me see if I can find Gregory here or if he's muted.
Oh, there he is.
Hold on one sec. I saw Gregory jump in. I was going to ask if Gregory is available to chat. Notice his mic is muted. Gregory, are you there? Matthew, there's another thing I wanted to say that we were trying to see if we could get one of the bags from Brescia delivered to you. I don't know if Gregory was able to talk to you about that, but we'll definitely contact you about that after. Gregory, nice to have you here, sir.
Yeah, how you doing? Actually in a pretty noisy environment.
That's okay.
So
We're basically just wrapping up. I saw you jump in,
okay.
so I was wondering if you wanted to say anything. Did you get to talk to Matthew about the bag? I was just telling him that way, trying to get a bag for him. I don't know if that
Yeah,
materialized.
I'm working on that now, trying to see if we could get it to him
Okay.
before he flies out. I
What
guess we
what
get
time
the
is your flight,
information.
Flight
Matthew?
tomorrow morning,
What time tomorrow?
7
Oh,
Oh, that's
oh,
pretty
okay.
urgent. Pretty
Another flight
early.
tonight. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to get the sponsor to hurry up
Okay.
for
You
us to
know,
see.
I got Gregory, if you can hear me, I got the shirt. I got it like this. I'm gonna take a picture of it and show it to you. Okay?
All right, no problem.
All right, cool. You can send one to me too, Matthew. All right,
I will
guys.
do that, Andrew.
All right. All right, guys.
Again, thanks
Thanks.
for having me here. Yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah,
man. No
cool.
No,
problem.
nice meeting you.
All right.
See
So
you, Matthew.
yeah, all right, cool. Thanks, Noah, on behalf of Noah, Gregory, and Matthew. Thanks for having us. All you guys in the Twitch chat.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
being there. Thanks, everybody. And we're out. Peace. Join us next
Peace.
week.
All right.